Hey guys, welcome back to Three Terrible Gamers podcast. This is episode 74 and I'm here with Colin.
Hey guys.
Alright, we have a few left over from last week. We'll go ahead and jump into it. Prince of Persia Lost Crown reviews.
Yeah, it done pretty well on the thing, which I guess is kind of hard to go wrong with a 2D side scroller. But anyways, it got an 86 on Metacritic. I believe the last Prince of... Oh no, it wouldn't be the last one, but the next highest one that happened, or I guess technically the highest out of all of them, is Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, and it was a 92, and that obviously got a must-play 21 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously it's always been a decent series, which, I mean, that's one of the rare gems that Ubisoft has.
Yeah, that they haven't managed to mess up yet.
Yeah, but yet again, 2D side-scroller, kind of hard to mess that up.
Right. Castlevania type game.
And a little bit of combination of Dread, too.
Yeah. Alright, so I guess it's like the Metroidvania genre. Metroid and Castlevania kind of have their own genre. It's called Metroidvania.
Yep.
But, yeah, like you said, 86 on Metacritic, 71 at the time of last week doing research, probably more than that now. 71 positive, only 1 mixed, and 0 negative, so pretty good. I'm still waiting on them to get back with me so we can be Metacritic reviewers.
Oh, you put it out for it?
Yeah. I emailed them about it. They have a sign-up sheet or whatever online.
That's cool. Guys, vote us in.
Yeah. I promise, just because it's an RPG of whatever game I'm reviewing, I won't give it a negative review. I'll actually play it. I still might get, like, if it's Baldur's Gate 4 or something, no, it's done.
Review bombing it.
Yep, it sucks. Just like Baldur's Gate 3, trash. Baldur's Gate 3 actually isn't that bad. I played a little bit of it, but still it's an RPG, which I'm not a big fan of.
Point and click. You play PC?
Yeah. I played a controller, but yeah. Alright, moving on. When you made this topic, I guess we didn't realize how big this game would explode. But Palworld released last week.
Yeah, it definitely released last week, and it's going to be a topic later on down in this thing too. I'm sure we'll get to it, but I'm not going to ruin that topic yet. I'll let you guys figure it out in a few more minutes when we get down there. But yeah, it released, and I mean, it done very well. It's kind of hard to mess up Pokemon with guns, though, as how everyone's claiming it to be, which, I mean, really, it's a crossover between a typical survival game, so it has some, Minecraft mechanics in it to an extent, from the little bit of Minecraft I've seen played and everything else, just, like, mentality behind it. Obviously, you're not going out there and crafting buildings or whatever, but, like, the survival side of, like, making your little camps or villages, whatever, plays into it. Catching your Pokemon, doing whatever you do with it. Honestly, we thought it was going to have a Metacritic score by now, but we're so many pre-access things.
Yeah, I think it's still in early game.
It's hard to tell, but I did go through and all the critics that did review it so far, I done the math myself, and there was 251s, and the rest were pretty much 70s and 80s. I think the highest one was rated as an 85, and I believe that was Gaming Bible that done it. But the average score was about a 73. It was like 72.8888 repeating.
Okay. So what is... I know you've played it, not a lot, but you've played a little bit of it. What is your personal score for it?
Well, Metacritic, be listening close. I would probably give it a solid 75.
Okay.
I like it. I mean, it takes yet again, this Pokemon with guns to an extent, but it's more like a Pokemon Arceus opposed to a turn-based RPG style.
Right.
from what I've seen from it, or a Pokemon Go situation with like a quote unquote raid battle, but I haven't played it online yet. It's just been all single player, and raids are to come. Another topic later on down the line. I'll
Right.
just touch base on it a little bit, but just to make sense of it. But yeah, I mean, it's a good game through and through. It's good. I've only had like one glitch, and it lasted for like half a second, and it fixed itself. So, I mean, I don't have too many bad complaints about the game. What about you? I know you played a little bit of it too.
I would give it probably. I'd give it a 78. Just it's a very good game. I've already put a bunch of hours into it. Last night, after I got done recording my other podcast, I played it until like midnight, 12:30, and then I played it a bunch this morning. Played it with my wife earlier today. We was playing together online, and I was playing just before we recorded on here. So I've been playing it a lot. It's really good. Yes, it does have some glitches, but it's early access. It's not the final game yet. So not major glitches like you said, but just like the character models and stuff, the way they move in certain situations isn't exactly 100% for like physics wise, but I'm sure that'll be fixed later on down the road. Yeah, it's a really good game. Like I said, 78. People that are calling it Pokemon with guns, yes, it kind of is that, but also people that are calling it that probably haven't played it or have never played Arc, because this game is Pokemon Legends Arceus and Arc had a baby. That's what this game is. So Legends Arceus is my favorite Pokemon game because it's open world. You could do whatever you wanted, and you weren't tied to the turn-based, fighting. Yes, when you fought other Pokemon, it was turn-based, but in this is not turn-based. Like you can hammer them right after another if you want to on this game. But this is very, very inspired by Arc with the survival.
Yeah,
like it feels like Arc.
Connection.
Right. Yeah, but for me playing Arc, like that's why I'm able to just get into this game and go. That's why, like you said, I was already further than you, but I've played Arc, so I know, how to get further along and what I need to do because I played Arc. So, very good game. Very good game.
Bad, and you're using controller too, probably.
Yeah. That too, but even using keyboard and mouse, like just me playing Arc, like I could probably just get into it. Because Arc takes a while to get used to and to figure out what you need to do, whether you're using controller or not.
Yeah.
So since I've already played Arc, I already know what I need to do. Just jump into it. So yeah, like I said, released last week, and it is on Xbox, Game Pass, and PC. Game Pass, and also Steam. That's all it's on. That's not on PlayStation, not on Switch. Yeah. So I wasn't able to find like a Metacritic score, but like overall Google score was 4.4. So out of 5. So not bad. And that's with 67 ratings. It doesn't say how many's which, but it's mostly 5 stars, obviously. A couple 4 and a couple 1s. To people just probably review bombing the ones, how people are. But
yeah, like I said, I had to go on there, and I just wound up doing the math for it. I was like, okay, a bunch of people
have done extra homework.
I always do when it comes to Metacritic scores, since there was nothing to compare. I mean, I guess I could have pulled Pokemon games to compare it off of, but that's still comparing apples to oranges.
The only thing you could have maybe done Arceus and Arc, combine the scores on that, but
I would have never thought of Arc though.
Right.
I mean, I would have just compared to Arceus and Minecraft.
That's true. I mean, I get what you're saying, like the Minecraft, but once again, you haven't played Arc, so you wouldn't have the mindset of Arc. But if you play Arc, it's Arc. This is what this game is Arc and Legends Arceus. That's what it is. Instead of dinosaurs, it's Legend, like it's pals. It's Pokemon, whatever.
Yeah. I do like how similar they are, but like how much they are like a design difference, just enough to avoid Nintendo's wrath.
Yeah, me too. Because honestly, I like this better than dinosaurs. Like the dinosaurs, they're just ugly. Like these, like you can, I mean, they're cute. I mean, that's what they are. I'm just gonna say it. That's what they are. So, I mean, and it's cool how their elements help you with what you need to do. Like you can make a cooling box, so an ice type can cool it. Is required to cool this ice box to keep your food cold, and then like a furnace to make a ingot or whatever from ore to make metal. You need a fire type in order to run this furnace. Like it's so cool how it uses their elements in order to help you with what you need to make.
Yeah. Oh no, I had a plant type and it didn't do any of the gardening. I had to do that manually.
Oh yeah?
It was useless. Yeah.
I wonder if it was because some plant types don't actually plant. They do other things like gather or harvest. So you might have to look and see in the description to see what they actually do.
Yeah, I tried, picked it up, I threw it at it, it didn't do anything. I was like, well, I guess I'm stuck doing my red berries myself.
Well, I know that ugly looking slug earth type, he plants. That chipmunk looking thing, it plants. And then that big old green dinosaur thing with a flower on its head, it plants.
Yeah. The one I had, it was it looks like a rip off of that bonsai tree from Pokemon. It's like a glump something is the name of it on the game. I can't quite remember it. That's how useless it was. And anytime you try to get it, it like runs away from you. Even once you
was it the monkey looking thing?
No.
No.
Like I said, it really was like a bonsai tree, but without the extra points to avoid yet again Nintendo detection. It's like a
I don't know what a bonsai tree is.
Karate Kid, that little tree in the movie.
Oh, okay. I don't have one of those yet. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah.
Roughly?
All right, we'll move on. Zelda Lego set report.
Yeah, this one got leaked by, I believe it was last weekend, because obviously this weekend hasn't technically started yet. I mean, by the time this video releases and the podcast release, yeah, it's going to be this weekend's coming past already, but obviously time of recording, it's Friday night.
Right.
But it came from prominent leaker 141 Falcon fan on Instagram, including the number of pieces and possible September release date. Apparently the kit was based on the Great Deku Tree, which, for you guys that don't know, the Great Deku Tree was a character who has made regular appearances in the Zelda franchise since Ocarina of Time.
If you don't know the Great Deku Tree, what's wrong with you?
You got some people that might just play RPGs all the time, Ashton.
Well,
then,
I mean, you don't know what a good game is then.
Creating Brick Merge for the scoop, 141 Falcon notes that the Lego Zelda set number is 77092. They also say that the piece count is 2,500 because Falcon Fan has such a good track record for revealing new Lego sets ahead of time, including the recent X-Men X-Jet. It's said that it is very hopeful, which, I mean, we had pretty much the same conversation with the data miners and stuff. That's all they do day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, is they go in and look for this stuff. So I say it probably is. Now, if Nintendo gets a word of it, they'll probably be Nintendo and be like, "Screw you! I'm going to release it in October."
Yeah, probably.
And I want to change it to $24.99 just to mess with you.
Yeah.
But other than that, I say that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it not too long ago about a Donkey Kong Lego set coming out. And then Animal Crossing one, I believe we talked about too. But a Zelda one, kind of figured it would happen eventually, and I'm kind of excited about it. Like, I'll probably get it. It's going to be expensive, I would assume, but eventually might be able to get it and maybe put it in the background or something. But the Great Deku Tree, that'd be a pretty cool set.
I've been saying that about that puzzle piece we tried to put together once upon a time, and it still ain't even close to being done.
That was hard.
That was.
I got a Mario one from Aldi's. It was hard too, but I got it put together. I don't have it on the wall. But
I imagine a 2,500, which I know the Lego sets come with instructions. The puzzles don't come with
Right.
instructions.
Well, the problem with that puzzle is all the pieces look the same because it's all the same color, all everything. Like it's.
Yeah.
But that'd be a nice piece to put in your background or something to hang up on the wall. Once you got it together, that puzzle.
Oh, yeah. I doubt it. It'll be a hot minute. I'll make the kids do it one day.
There you go.
They like doing puzzles. Not so much me.
I don't either. I like the idea of them being put up together and like hung on the wall, but I don't like the idea of sitting there and doing them.
Yeah. It's very tedious.
Yeah.
So aren't Lego sets. I've done a couple.
Yeah, but the thing is, like you said, they come with instructions, so it's not as bad. You'll eventually get there.
Yeah.
With a puzzle, you may not. All it takes is one missing piece, and then it puts you off track.
Yeah, because this one's almost 6 years in the making.
Yeah.
Still not done.
Yeah. Been a while.
And who knows, in the move, it probably got destroyed again from what we did have built.
Probably. All right. Nintendo announces 3DS and Wii U server end date.
Yeah, April 8th at 4 p.m. Pacific time, or PDT, because apparently it's Eastern Standard Time, but it's not Pacific Standard Time, it's Pacific Daily Time, which makes no sense to me.
Is that their daylight time?
Yeah, daylight time, my bad, not date. Yeah. Pacific Daylight Time. Instead of, like I said, it makes no sense. It's EST over here.
Well, I guess, during daylight savings time, it's technically EDT here. Eastern Daylight Time. Daylight savings time or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that's...
The only reason I knew that is because when I schedule the podcast and it's daylight savings times, it changes from EST to EDT. That's the only reason I know that.
I always thought it was standard time.
It is whenever it's not daylight savings time. Like right now, it's EST.
Okay.
It changes.
Even podcaster, not a connoisseur. I just know it exists and it goes by quick.
Guys, this episode is brought to you by our friends at Bucked Up.
Bucked Up is a company founded in 2016 by two brothers on a mission to provide consumers with the highest quality supplements and fitness products to help them achieve their health and fitness goals.
Bucked Up has a ton of products ranging from energy drinks and supplements to protein bars and pre-workout, all with crazy good flavors like Rocket Pop and Cotton Candy.
You won't find a better tasting boost without the crash anywhere else.
So head on over to buckedup.com and use the code 3TG to get 20% off your order. That's the number 3TG.
Get the job done and feel great with Bucked Up energy. When you feel it, you just got bucked up.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so before we know it, it'll be April 8th, and you will no longer be able to play 3DS or Wii U games online.
Yeah, which sucks. Two great systems but they both have a ton of great games. The Wii U obviously was a failure by sales, but it's still one of my favorite systems because anybody that had one enjoyed it. Just the problem was not very many people had them. 3DS, you had a 2DS, so it had good games and it was, great system. It sucks, but like I said, the homebrew community will come out and they already have, so you can play online, like with Mario Kart and other games still, but it just sucks you won't be able to do it officially. And the Wii U and the 3DS shops, like, even when I was younger, I just like going in there and visiting the shop. I knew I couldn't buy anything because I didn't have any money, but like, just going there, listening to music, browsing around, reading different descriptions on games, that was just fun.
Yeah. I do the same thing with the eShop all the time for the Switch. I'm just like, oh, okay, what's available?
Yeah. In the eShop, though, like, you don't even have music. Like, it's boring and laggy as crap. Because there's so much on it. Which is a good thing, there's so many games on it. But Nintendo could kind of make it a little more friendly to use.
That's true.
Alright, but this is from Nintendo. It just says, thank you very much for supporting our products. And like Colin said, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on April 8, 2024. Online play and other functionality that uses online communication will end for Nintendo 3DS and Wii U software. This also includes online cooperative play, internet rankings, and data distribution. Please note that if an event occurs that would make it difficult to continue online services for Nintendo 3DS and Wii U software, we may have to discontinue services earlier than planned. We sincerely thank players for using the online services of Nintendo 3DS and Wii U software over a long period of time and apologize for any inconvenience. So if there's any hacking or anything that goes on between now and April, they'll probably just shut it down early. And of course, we'll let you guys know if that's the case.
Yeah.
All right, going back to it. Palworld hits 8 million copies sold.
Yeah, 8 million is the number of copies Palworld has sold since the launch 6 days ago at the time of recording.
That's impressive.
Yes, it makes it the fastest selling game of 2024 so far. Obviously, we're still not even a month in, but I doubt, other than your Call of Duties and Madden, I don't think anything's going to really outsell it for a hot minute. Which, still those two titles won't even outsell it for a hot minute because usually they get August and November releases.
Right.
So it'll still be at least a few more months. But, and again, as we mentioned before, it's a cross in between several different style of gameplays. And especially the Pokemon side of it and the looks of the characters being cute and everything else to the, makes it more playable and enjoyable. It's just, pretty much a snowball effect of how well it is for it. And that don't count the, that counts actually sold copies. That don't count the Game Pass people.
Right, because you don't have to buy it. You can, but you don't have to. So I kind of got it on both. I bought the Steam version, and then I got Game Pass in order to play it with you in summer. So until they enable, the crossplay in between, then my main playthrough will be on Steam, and then playing with you guys will be on Game Pass. But yeah, 8 million copies sold is really impressive in a week. And then it says it's been something of a tradition to report each day that Palworld has sold another million copies, and this was yesterday. Find Thursday's no exception. So apparently it was selling like 1 million a day almost, and at later in the week it was selling like 1 million a day, which is, like I said, pretty impressive. And then it says they also remind us that there is still a 10% discount on the game on Steam, and a launch offer that existed since the premiere. So yeah, it is 10% off. It's $26, which is what I got it for on Steam, instead of $30, $29.99 US. But if you do buy it on Xbox Game Pass, it's still $29.99.
You don't get a discount for it being a Game Pass thing?
Not yet.
Okay. Probably once it comes to Xbox fully and not just the PC side of it.
Yeah, probably. It is on Xbox too, just where it's still in early access for the Game Pass. I'm sure once it officially releases, it'll probably be on sale.
Gotcha.
And
yeah, I just thought it was PC version. I didn't think it was on the actual Xbox side yet.
Yeah, Summer was playing on the Xbox while I was playing with her on the PC. My PC. But I will say, I don't know if it's because she's playing on Xbox One, which I figured Xbox Series X or S will be the same. The graphics are not as good on the Xbox versus the PC, which, obviously, but, it's not just because she's on Xbox. It's just downgraded really, really far. It's like that version isn't as far ahead yet because, it looks like she's playing on the Switch. That's how blurry the graphics are. She still had fun. It's still able to play with me, no issues. It's just the graphics aren't nearly as good or far ahead yet as they are on the PC side.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Because they was probably focusing more on the PC side first because they released it on Steam for one, and then PC Game Pass 2, so that Xbox version's just probably a little bit further behind graphics-wise, but like I said, it's still fully playable, still able to have fun if you're on
I
Xbox.
guarantee it, because on the PC side of the Xbox side, you are on version 1.1.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, where I've played both versions, I didn't notice a whole lot of difference between the Steam and PC Game Pass side, but like I said, they are different update versions, so there is some differences. Okay, real quick, where you mentioned Madden, will we get Madden 35 this year, or is it going to be 25.2 or something, where we got Madden 25 10 years ago?
Yeah. I say it'll be Madden 2025 instead of just
2025.
I say that's what they'll do with it. I mean, because I was wondering that 10 years ago whenever I
Yeah,
got it for the Xbox
I think
One.
everybody was.
Like, oh, okay, what are we going to do since it's 25th anniversary? I don't think they're going to do a Nintendo thing where they do like a 35th anniversary of it or whatever.
I think they just do it every 25 years.
I'd say so. But yeah, I say it'll probably just be Madden 2025. Or they may just be like, oh yeah, it's Madden 25 again.
Or maybe they'll just restart and just Madden. A lot of people are doing that now. A lot of companies are just starting over. Yeah, exactly.
Madden 1.
Madden 1.
Madden 2K25.
I don't know if 2K would be okay with that. They might have something to say.
It still stands for 2000.
Yeah, but they kind of have the rights to that name. Considering they used to make NFL games, that would really make them mad. That they're, for one, they're not allowed to make NFL games anymore. And two, if Madden took their name.
I mean, EA has the money.
Yeah, they do. That's why they keep making the same game every single year.
Sports side of it.
Yeah. 2K has money too, though.
It's true. But who's been around longer?
That doesn't matter. A lot of people don't buy EA's games anymore.
They always buy. Maddens are like Call of Duties. They always get bought.
Yeah.
Same way with 2K games. They always get bought, no matter how good or bad they are.
I haven't bought a Madden in a long time.
21 is the last one I bought.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about with the Madden, Madden 14 was actually called Madden 25. It wasn't Madden 14. So that's what we're talking about. Yeah. We're talking about if they're going to make Madden 25 or if they're going to be calling it something else, which I'm sure they'll call it something else.
Like I said, I think they're going to add a 2-0 in front of it and call it a day.
Probably. We'll see. Got time for one more. Ubisoft talks about interest in making a Zelda game.
Okay. Mine got way out of order on that one. I gotta scroll for a bit.
Okay. Wait. You're right. I skipped one. That's a hint for... we'll just go ahead and do that one. They don't need to know.
Hey, you skipped 2 of them. You didn't skip 1.
Did I skip 2?
Yeah, you skipped 2.
No, I skipped 1.
You skipped 2.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Just 1.
I'll tell you after the podcast you skipped 2, but just know, people, it's 2, not 1.
Not on my screen, it's not.
I don't care, I'm just writing down what you sent me.
Sent you the same thing.
Ubisoft talks about interest in making a Zelda game, which they've taken a stab at it before. They tried to do Wind Waker once upon a time and do a remake or revamp of it, but Nintendo said no to it. But now they're showing interest on remaking Link 2, which is the Adventure of Link, because of the success of Prince of Persia. And it's still the same style, and they would do the cross with Castlevania as well, so they would still keep that style gameplay, kind of like you were seeing yet again Prince of Persia. So they still have to work with Nintendo if it was, but yet again, it's not the first time. Nintendo has let them cross over with stuff before, with obviously the rapid games, and I believe Starlink had Star Fox on it a little bit too.
Not sure.
I'm like 90% sure that happened, but yeah. So I mean, it's not the first time that they've fiddled around and combined or whatever, but it's still a touchy thing. I mean, they could do what they done with Prince of Persia, and Nintendo couldn't do anything to them because it's so far. It would just be style of gameplay. They could revamp and make any title game they want to, like they done with Prince of Persia. Because yet again, as we said earlier in this podcast, it's a cross in between Metroid Dread and Castlevania.
Yeah.
Oh, style of play or whatever, they can take the style of play. That's not anything Nintendo can do about it, but it's when it comes down to how they execute it.
Yeah. I don't think this will happen because, I mean, yeah, like you said, they have crossed over before, but those were not first. I mean, obviously they weren't first party titles, but
yeah,
I think if there was going to be a remake of Adventure Link, Nintendo would want to do it to make sure it actually comes out right this time, because they kind of regret making the Adventure Link how they did. So I think if they wanted to make a remake, they'd make it how they wanted to make it so it wouldn't get screwed up again. But I could be wrong. You know, maybe Ubisoft is the right company to do this, but just being honest, Ubisoft isn't the right company to make a whole lot of stuff anymore.
And I mean, to an extent too, they may have, quote unquote, supposedly messed up on the Adventure Link, but you think of the difficulty spike, and I'm going to compare the two games in between, because obviously we didn't initially get the true sequel to the Super Mario Bros. So the Lost Levels was a huge difficulty spike in between the two games, and then obviously from Zelda 1 to Zelda 2 there was a huge difficulty spike because of the style of gameplay. So I don't think they necessarily so much regretted it as opposed to they didn't do the same thing that what they done with Mario and they just skipped it. So in our case, for over here in the United States, we would have just got Link to the Past before we got Link 2, and then eventually got released, you know, on a quote unquote all-star thing that they've never done with Zelda, but they've done with Mario.
Yeah.
Why they're kind of salty about it to an extent. That, and you know, they did get more backlash from it, but it's still a playable Zelda game. It's just a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, I've never beat it, but there's mods out there and ROM hacks that make it easier and make it obviously look better and just make the UI look better. Like instead of, because like in the original Adventure Link, like it's not even hearts like a traditional Zelda game. It's like a life meter bar.
Yeah.
So like they fix stuff like that, and I've played that version. Even you can even make it without the difficulty going down. Like, so that's what I did. I didn't change the difficulty. I just changed the look of it so it's more modern, I guess. Like it just makes the graphics look a little better. It still looks like an NES game, but that's in my opinion, the better version to play. But with that being said, since there are mods out there that do help the game in several different ways, I don't really think Ubisoft's needed for this. I don't even think Nintendo's needed to make another Adventure Link, unless they would bring just better graphics and make it more modern, similar to like they did with the Link or Link's Awakening. Maybe not that exact art style, but just a better art style than NES, obviously. But other than that, I think the fan base has already covered a remaster for it.
Definitely.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have. We appreciate you for watching or listening. You can always catch us live on YouTube and Twitch. Make sure to follow us on all of our socials: Twitch, Discord, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Shout out to Bucked Up for sponsoring this video, this episode, whatever you're watching or listening. You have anything?
Shout out to Red Circle for putting this on their Instagram.
Yeah, shout out to Red Circle. Thanks for tagging us in your Instagram. We appreciate it. Wasn't expecting the shout out for sure.
That was shocking whenever you sent it to me.
Yeah, happy.
But
happy.
it's all because of you guys, so we appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't have got recognized if it wasn't for you guys. So yeah. All right, you have anything else?
That'd be it.
All right. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Later, guys.